It's Wednesday night. You know what that means. This is Top Rope Tokes. It's over here now. I'm just saying that person, his name is
Range of Motion.
We're here to review AEW Dynamite. And guess what? Last Dynamite before All Out. I, in a number of ways, definitely felt like a show that was leading to something big, like a major pay-per-view. Lots happened. Unfortunately, part of that was there's way too much Mox talking on the show.
There was a lot of Mox promo. Two separate Mox promo.
I mean, they were important. They involved stories, set up the championship match at All Out, which is going back right into what we came from and what was rumored. I don't want to say debut because he's been there before, but there was an unexpected person that showed up tonight in W. Morrissey.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, I don't think that's really building to any kind of impact at the pay-per-view necessarily, but probably into this, just kind of kicking off a story to continue after the show when everything else resets.
Yeah, it'll be him and the Wingman.
Mm-hmm. We got to see Shida on TV again.
Mm-hmm.
Miro promos were back to Miro promos as opposed to House of Black promos.
You mean Kratos?
I missed the very part of this entrance, but apparently we had an entrance that the graphic card actually said "some guys."
No, it did not.
Oh, did they just refer to them as that? Because I know you said they are literally just.
I referred to them as some guys because they didn't even put their names up on a graphic.
Ooh.
Like that was how unimportant they were.
We got the next story beat for Hangman Adam Page after he's been kind of chilling for a while up until this trios tournament where he kind of got a little bit of focus again.
Yeah.
And then we had two hell of matches tonight, like almost no notes kind of matches. Just
so much quick movement all over the place tonight. Fast.
Which was nice because the early part of the show, not saying it wasn't important or not saying it wasn't good, but the early part of the show was very heavy on things we had to take notes on, like the promos and different things like that. So having that to be able to end the show where we got to sit back and just enjoy crazy wrestling matches, which, by the way, if you are listening to us and you did not watch them, highly recommend watching the last two matches from tonight's Dynamite, which was the Fatal 4-Way of ladder match participants and the Trios tournament match between United Empire and the Elite. Watch them.
That was the Green Power Rangers.
I'll call them it officially once they bust out the dagger. On TV that I get to witness. I'm not talking about going back on YouTube.
Yeah, those are the Green Power Rangers. What's up?
But we kind of hinted at it early. Started off the show with Jon Moxley. I thought about doing it that Justin Roberts introduction way, but I was like, no, that'd be annoying and obnoxious.
The Mox intro today was a full 3 minutes.
Yeah, it was almost 8:05 before we got a single word on TV. Now, he had a mic in hand at 8:04, but there was like a minute of him like listening to the crowd because I don't think anyone expected the crowd to go that way that they did.
Yeah.
Were you surprised at all by that?
I didn't. Yeah, I guess I didn't think that they would boo him. I just kind of knew it was going to be a really pro-punk crowd, so I didn't think he was going to get a lot of cheers. But I definitely didn't think he was going to come out and get booed like that.
Oh, it was a very split crowd. At some points, like let's go, oh Mox or Moxley,
It
whatever
was
chant was like
it was
prevailing at
a
one point.
slightly split crowd because it was more a booing Mox actually, because there was a little bit of time when they got in the "Let's Go Moxley" chants, but for the most part, people were kind of booing.
Yeah, like overall, yeah, but there was enough there that he was so like he was kind of playing it out at first because he was even kind of confused, like how do I play this kind of situation.
Yeah,
Um, he said a lot of
yeah,
things because Mox always says lots of things.
oh man.
The biggest things I got was Punk gave him his best shot. He didn't care, so Punk folded and started looking for excuses, curled up into a ball. Fragile mind, fragile body, weak mind, weak spirit. Then he goes on about how he's leaving an open challenge contract in the middle of the ring.
Yep.
Then he still talked for like another 5 minutes. But that was more in the same context of like a normal Mox backstage promo.
Yeah, it was just more of the same kind of stuff of it doesn't matter who it is.
You've been warned.
He doesn't care if what promotion you come from.
Yeah, he was like, I run that show too after he dropped New Japan. But once he actually goes to leave, finally, eventually, Ace Steel, who is the backstage producer who helped carry out Punk after their match, comes down and retrieves the contract. It's specifically him for a reason. It could have been literally anybody else.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we knew before tonight that this match was gonna happen at All Out. Anyway,
I was just hoping that there would be maybe an additional surprise or a twist or something to it. But at the same time, I kind of don't want there to be, because if what I want to happen happens, I'd rather that be how All Out finishes. It's the only way I cheer after the main event, Range. It's the only way I'm gonna cheer.
Yeah, if there was MJF sightings, I would cheer as well. I would cheer my jailhouse movies off.
I'm not generally going to root for Mox. I generally don't root for CM Punk.
Mm-hmm.
So for that to be the main event, there's no super happy ending there for me.
Yeah.
Unless it's MJF.
Yeah. Yeah, bring out MJF. Send him. Send MJF. That's what we want.
Oh yeah. Next we had Tony Schiavone backstage with Chris Jericho. Starts by hyping up the match with Danielson at All Out. He did follow one rule that he always preaches about promos: do not completely bury your opponent. Because he says Owen and Stu Hart may have appreciated Danielson's skills a bit more, but would definitely appreciate Jericho's career a lot more and all the things that he's done. And those accolades will soon include beating Danielson at All Out. That's when Garcia comes in, pledges his allegiance back to Jericho Appreciation Society. Says he doesn't have to be dirty, cheat, or anything. He can beat Danielson because he believes in him.
Yeah. Yay.
Anything out of this that caught your eye that was different that you want to throw in?
No.
It wasn't me, or did Garcia not seem all in when he told him this?
Yeah. Yeah, that's part of this, that subtle storytelling is going on here.
So that's why I was like,
Garcia is not, I don't know, he feels like he owes Jericho something, it seems like. So he repledged his loyalty to the JAS just for that reason. But even though he's not doing it on purpose, he's like sabotaging himself being a member of JAS to where he's going to end up being in the BCC soon.
Yeah, that's why, like, his reactions, even later on in the night, even if it's subtle, he portrays emotion, like, very subtly, but very well.
Mm-hmm.
He's a sports entertainer. Forget what the crowd tells him. He's a sports entertainer.
He is a sports entertainer.
And this is one thing I really enjoy about AEW, because things kind of flow together, because right after that promo was the Hager versus Danielson matchup.
Yeah.
Honestly,
I didn't take a ton of notes in this match.
The first thing I even made a note of, besides Jericho and Regal both on commentary, they had 5 people on commentary for this match.
They did.
And they even showed them all sitting there. So it was kind of
there was
crowded looking.
It was weird.
The first thing I took note of was when Danielson went to run and jump off the apron onto Hager, and Hager caught him and then carried his ass the entirety of ringside and slammed him through a table.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was the first note I had from the match too. I love Hager's like MMA moves because it makes it works with Bryan Danielson, who's got that more realistic looking style.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that made this match pretty cool.
So prior to this match happening, when we talked, I had at least decent hopes for it, just because Hager has a wrestling background. He has the MMA background, which would work well with Danielson, or at least style-wise it does. Height-wise, not necessarily, but they turned that into part of the story. But you could tell, like, he has the skills, but because he had such the size differential, Hager was relying more so on his power as opposed to technique, and that was the overall like kind of story of the match. Lots of good counters in there though, which you would expect between the two.
Yeah, like when it was, that's what I said, it was a whole lot like an MMA match. When they were on their feet, there was a ton of striking. When they got to the mat, just counters, submission, counter, submission, counter, submission, counter.
And they didn't even do it in like a total typical wrestling fashion, because they did the things where they use Hager's size and all that to the story. Like, Danielson's trying to counter, but like, sorry, your legs are too short to do that to Hager. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I like this match.
Do you have anything before the end? Because I have the end and then I have all the after stuff.
Nope. That's what I got.
After, a good solid wrestling match, just kind of as we talked about, nobody really cares too much about Hager, or else this match probably would have been a lot hotter with the crowd and everything. Danielson, why did I say it like that? One with the Bazaico knee.
He got that Danielson.
But then after the match, guess who we got to see?
We got to see Daniel LaRusso.
Daddy Magic.
Danielson.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got to see a real sports entertainer.
Cool and Ange, they came out, but then Claudio Wheeler came to fight them off, which opened up Jericho coming down the ramp with a chair, which is funny because a certain somebody just told him he doesn't have to be dirty, just be his best version of himself, and he believes in him. But Jericho went to attack with the chair from behind. So what happened after that, Range?
Yeah. So Garcia grabbed the chair from Jericho, and while Jericho's real pissed off and upset with Garcia, Bryan Danielson is getting himself back up to his feet now. And when Jericho turns around, he gets one of those the flying knee things.
Yeah, running knee, flying knee, Bazaico knee. I had to actually look up how to spell it, because I know wrestling-wise they change the spelling sometimes, but I guess how you actually say it.
Jericho with that Bazaico knee. And
Danielson
Danielson was like,
has
hell yeah, that's what's up, man.
just laughing,
Thanks.
smiling. He gave him like a little bit of a attaboy as he like walked past him on the way
Yeah.
out too. And
Yeah, he like pat him on the shoulder. Like, yeah, man, you did it.
And then Garcia, like we were just talking about, the very solo motion, he's like, I fucked up.
Yeah.
Now, we did hear the F word on tonight's Dynamite broadcast.
Yeah.
But it was not there when I just used it. It was not there. I could not believe we heard the F word drop.
Yeah, he dropped that F-bomb. He's not going to be on TV again.
I wish he was on TV tonight so we wouldn't have the main event that we have it all out. Be like, nope, you don't have a contract to hand that man. You do not have an open contract for that man.
Nobody did.
Okay. I don't know how to approach this next segment.
The next segment is gold, man. It's the wingman.
Is this gonna rival Scissor Me Daddy Ass if they keep them on TV?
Maybe. Because this was great.
The
wingmen were in the ring with picket signs. Because they are pissed.
Right.
They want some more TV time, man.
And he tries to steal somebody else's gimmick because he starts saying all the EST words and emphasizing the EST. Now he tries to steal his brother's stuff from WWE. Now he's trying to steal Bianca Belair's stuff.
Well, he
kept talking.
Yeah, he said they were the coolest, sexiest, prettiest, and hunkiest. Mm-hmm. Made sure hunkiest was last.
And he emphasized the EST so much more as he went on. Then he gave the mic to Peter Avalon. He said Wednesday night should be Wednesday night or Wingman Wednesday nights. I can't remember how he got it, but he's like, pinkies in, boys. Let's touch tips. Let's touch tips. Had me dying. It's gonna be so hard. We're gonna go have hand gestures, and it will be like, are we doing this or are we doing this?
Yeah.
That's just gonna be how we start weirding out every single person we know that don't watch wrestling, isn't it? We're just gonna walk up to, like, next time we're around Brandon, we're gonna walk up to him and be like, let's touch tips.
Mm-hmm. See, what makes it weird is saying let's touch tips, because when you shake someone's hand, you don't say let's shake hands. Like, that would make a handshake real weird to me. Like, no, I don't want to shake your hand. Why do you have to announce that?
The only time I ever hear it announced is usually if it's people trying to, like, squash beef. Like, let's shake hands, get over it, move on, or whatever.
Oh, not in real life.
Usually more so, like, I'm thinking sports, like, kind of in the competition kind of sense.
Okay, yeah.
Not so much like breaking bottles over heads in a bar or something.
Yeah.
Let's touch tips. And then we got a 7-footer. Because size matters. Yeah. W. Morrissey.
Morrissey.
They called him William at one point tonight, didn't they? I know a lot of his stuff is always W. Morrissey.
Yeah, I wasn't paying attention to that.
Comes down, destroys everybody.
Yeah. And Stokely comes out. Man, Stokely, the look on Stokely's face.
I don't know how to describe it.
It's, like, I think the best way to describe it is like when you're a kid and you first discover that playing with your dick feels good. He was like, whoa!
He was both mortified.
That guy is incredible. I have to give him my card now.
Mortified, confused, and excited. I couldn't spit out words there. Yeah, because what did I say during the show? There's like a kid with his first boner or something.
Yeah. Yep. See, that's what I was like. Yeah, it has to be. That's the best way.
If I
to
touch it,
describe
things come out. Like, what the hell is this? I'm so
So-
confused and scared.
I've now noticed that Stokely is picking up all the blonde white dudes and all the black women.
Ethan
What is
Page
he
has dark
doing?
hair.
Oh yeah, that's right. Okay, never mind.
Even though one of them looks like he has darker hair, I could definitely see both ass boys being blonde.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I think they're both blonde.
Like, Austin has that darker hairstyle, but you could definitely see the blonde in it.
I don't know what his plans are, but I'm down to see whatever the heck he's doing.
Morrissey,
Tony Schiavone wanted to find out more about his plans.
because Morrissey immediately accepted the card and left with Stokely. And Tony's like, hold up. Tell us.
Yeah.
He's like, none of your damn business. He's like, well, it's kind of us doing the show here, so yes, it is my business. That was not the right response. But it did get a giant Tony
He
chant.
snatched him up.
There
it
was
did.
a huge Tony chant right there, though.
The crowd did love some Tony. But he got snatched up by Stokely. Don't you be messing with Stokely.
With a 7-footer behind you, it's pretty easy to get, stand about a foot taller than you actually are.
Yeah. And he has a Stokely business card, so.
Oh, I should say this, though. When he was in the ring and he was tearing through everybody, he held up Peter Avalon for a chokeslam for a good 10 seconds. Like, in there.
Yeah, that was pretty intense.
He had to let Stokely fully have his orgasm moment. That's all.
Oh, man.
That was so delayed.
No, I was just thinking, man, that hit of the night might be whatever it was that hit Stokely. Oh man. But no, it'll come later in the show. A little bit later.
I honestly don't even know what's gonna be because there's too many things in tonight's show that I was just like, what the fuck happened? I don't know.
Yeah.
But next was an easy part because it was Alex Marvez, because Tony Schiavone gets around, but he can't get around that fast. Marvez was backstage with United Empire. Will mentions about getting in the ring with Kenny, but then Don Callis interrupts. Basically says he's really excited for the match, but I don't know if Don Callis is maybe getting ready to turn on Kenny. Because, like, he hypes up Will, but then says, like, this can be different now.
I mean, he I feel like he kind of got him back. Like, yeah, whatever. You're nothing. Because he mentioned that last time he was in the ring with Kenny, it was in a tag match, and he had got one wing angeled.
Yeah.
Meaning he lost.
But he was throwing a lot of respect his way, and Don Callis is usually a heel. Elite clearly going face.
I don't know. I mean, well, his conclusion was, yeah, you're good, but Kenny's better. So
that's why I was kind of curious if he's gonna. I didn't know if he'd like switch over.
Specifically better than him.
Next line. No, if we want to talk about specifically better than him, there is a certain point in this show called Kenny Omega's entrance later that we will discuss being better than Will Ospreay.
Yeah, that was a good promo right there.
You know what? When we get to it, that might be my hit of the night because I was dying.
That was tight.
Yeah, they kicked out Marvez and Callis, but then we got Britt Baker, Jamie Hayter versus Sheeta and Toni Storm. I love three of these people. And one of them got the pinfall victory. That also means that Sheeta is completely fucked at All Out. Because tonight she pinned Britt after hitting the katana.
And she looked amazing in this match. Like, she got the spotlight a lot of the match.
She got a lot of the best crowd reactions in the match. Her
and Jamie got the best spots in this match, just to let you know that they're going to be non-factors.
Make it look strong.
Yeah,
because they literally, for Jamie, they helped make her look strong, like suplexing both Sheeta and Toni at the same time.
Yeah, that double suplex. That was one of the few notes I had in this match.
I love 3 out of the 4, but if you're right, it's going to be the one that I don't care about. That wins.
Storm is getting that belt, man. I'm telling you.
It's okay. Inevitable. If everything goes as planned, I'll be standing in front of a urinal right about that time. Oh yeah, for those of you that don't know, let's take a second to discuss this. Videos starting this weekend, whether it be shorts and stuff like that, could get kind of crazy, kind of get hectic. Wide variety of things because we're going to be in Chicago. Don't know about Saturday night. There is a GCW show, maybe, because recently going to Blood and Guts, we know let's not spread ourselves too thin because a wrestling show will kill us. But there's the brunch show on Sunday we could do, and then of course All Out on Sunday night. So you'll have lots of random things that could be hitting the channel. And while I'm sitting here and taking this moment to discuss this, if you're still here and you're still watching, go down below, hit the like button, subscribe if you're not already, drop a comment, all those good things. But also one of the most important things that you can do, join the wrestling discussion. You will see a link to join us in Discord. I forgot to do that for one of our last ones.
Well, we didn't forget this time.
It's like I made that new Orange Cassidy graphic and I used it once and then forgot the next time. Whoops. But yeah, that's why early when we first started off the show tonight, I had to mention Sheeta because we don't get to see enough of her.
Yeah, we got a little bit of Sheeta. And she's going to lose on Sunday, but we're going to get to see her in person.
That will be fun. I'll be torn in that match. You know what? The nice thing about that match is I'll be able to cheer for 3 out of the 4 people if they get chance going. So, that works. Next, we had a little Kip Sabian video package. Mostly a recap of what happened last week when they got involved in the match. Hyping up a match on Sunday, which I did not know was happening until this point.
Yeah, I felt like it was going to be coming up
pre-show
in there. Maybe.
I'm just not sure because there wasn't much for it before that.
Yeah, because I've been watching some of the dark episodes, and Kip Sabian's been showing up to every match that PAX had lately, defending the All Atlantic belt. And with him finally taking off the thingy, his mask on Wednesday, I feel like that's a good enough. Hey, let's go ahead and throw this match in.
It's just we know that the card itself
kind of thing,
yeah, because the card itself was already pretty long, and I think they threw the Eddie match is going to be on the 0 hour show, so that leaves a decent amount of time. Oh yeah, that just reminds me of how long the show is going to be when we're there. Next, Next, we got the Miro video package, which, thank God, as we referenced before, you said Kratos. I'm just happy that the House of Black influence is gone over the Miro promos. We have the Redeemer back.
Yeah. Kratos.
And
this one, he was talking about killing his god or fighting his god or something like that.
Yeah,
and I was like, yep, this is definitely his Kratos promo.
He says God made a deal with the devil to take him out. He looks up and he says, how's that working out for you, coward? That's when Darby steps in and he makes a good, like, his whole point is to say Malachi needs Brody and Buddy more than they need Malachi, because look at everything that Brody's done so far. He's done it on his own. And when they realize that, the House of Black will burn. Then Sting out cheesy Sting lines from like 1991.
Yep. He just stings. That's it. I just put in that Sting's ready to scrap.
It's a trios match, which means crazy things can happen. And Sting has made a habit of, when he's in a match recently, of doing things that you would never expect that man to do at this point. Well,
yeah.
Part of that is because he literally didn't do these kind of things when he was in his 20s, in his 30s, in his 40s, or in his 50s. He waited till he was in his 60s to be like diving off of like the stage and stuff.
Yeah. So looking forward to that. Hopefully you come somewhere near where I'm sitting and dive off of something. That'll be dope.
We're not in the right spot for a Mox entrance.
No.
But where they kind of fight next to the stage and can kind of go up, we are in that area though. It is totally possible. Since our seats are exactly the same as where they were for Blood and Guts, pretty much.
Yeah.
Now, on to the hometown boy, CM Punk. Which, by the way, at this point, when he had the top of the second hour, as soon as his music hit, I was kind of hoping that we could go the show without him. I don't know why I was hoping that, because unrealistic.
Yeah.
But as soon as Cult of Personality hit, you heard me yell, like actually yell one word. I was like, fuck. I that's not what I wanted, even though it was kind of obviously coming our way.
You did not want no Punk.
It's gonna be fun rooting against Punk in Chicago, I guess. That's gonna be my fun. Basically, he's basically in tears, acting like he's about to retire. He doesn't know if his new 100%, because his completely fucked up foot, is good enough for wrestling and all the love that the fans give him. Like, he does a very emotional promo. Not a whole lot of time, because it was long.
Yeah, it was very long. Like, he came back too soon, let everybody down. And then he starts talking about maybe he doesn't love it enough anymore.
Yeah.
And that's when Ace Steel comes out.
Yep, he comes out to fire him up, saying, this isn't what we talked about, you coming out here and saying when we just talked. So what happened between when you left back there and you got out here? And he wants to fire him up. He ends up slapping the shit out of Punk.
Yeah.
He convinces Punk. He goes on to a very Moxley-like rambling, ranting kind of promo after. And into the crowd where he starts yelling, "We are Chicago," while standing in front of a dude who was wearing a Hangman Adam Page shirt, the guy that he tried to bury last week or a couple weeks ago on TV.
Yeah.
Any specific...
I thought that was pretty funny.
Any specific line in like these 10 to 15 minutes that went by that you love that you...
Just that Ace Steel dropped an F-bomb.
Oh yeah,
I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to drop F bombs.
yeah. I forgot about it. When he was firing him up, he starts. I forgot what he actually said, but he dropped the F bomb.
Yeah, he dropped a nice one. It was a stinky one, a big stinky one.
Now the fun thing is people created rumors, and I saw people debunking this rumor and stuff like that, saying that TNT, TBS want them to tone down the language, but then people came out and said that no, that's not true. There was no reports or anything about that.
Okay.
That might change now.
Yeah. Yeah, Ace done fucked up.
Way to go, Ace. Ruin everything for everybody, you fucking loser. Oh, yeah.
And also, Ace Steel. Straight up 80s porn name. What the fuck?
To be fair, do you remember what like 80s and 90s wrestlers were named like too?
Yeah.
Terra Rising. Wait. Do you know about that name?
No.
TERRA space RYZING. Triple H's name when he was in WCW in the early to mid 90s.
Nice.
Terra Rising.
Nice.
At one point, Edge was Sexton Hardcastle.
So wait, he was like a sailor? Was he had like a sailor gimmick?
Sexton Hardcastle, I totally think that's right up the 80s porn star alley.
But it's like the Sexton is I forgot what that is. But a sexton is something that you would use for
like a naval tool.
Naval tool, yeah. That's why I was like, oh, he had like a sailor gimmick.
That sounds slightly familiar. I can't think of what it would be either. The next thing, if there wasn't anything for you to specifically add out of that, would be something I entirely missed because it was the Jungle Boy Christian Cage sit down with JR.
Yeah. So, yeah, there's not a whole lot to this. It was very I can't remember what the name of the show is when HBO does this for big boxing matches. And they'll have the two fighters like do a casual sit down where they sit across from each other. What the name of that show is.
Now while you look that up, I do have one question for you. Did he bring back the Christian is a pussy t-shirt?
No.
The way they talked about it, I wondered if he would, or if it was like a legitimate, like, hey, yep, that's gone and it's never coming back kind of moment.
Yeah.
But any good lines, anything worth noting of it? Because I mean, this match has been pretty much, set in stone, probably longer than any other match on the card. Nothing.
Oh yeah, it's Face Off. Sorry, I had to find out what the name of that show was. Yeah, Face Off on HBO. But yeah, that promo was like that. But yeah, I don't know. Jungle Boy said that Christian is going to be fighting. He's not going to be fighting Jungle Boy, or he's not going to be wrestling Jungle Boy. He's going to be fighting Jack Perry. But I'm going to put all my money on him still being Jungle Boy during this match and not taking on any form of other character.
Hey man, as long as the next words out of your mouth were he's not fighting Jungle Boy, he's fighting Jungle Man, I was going to be content because I was like, if that was the line, I would be like, this is like made for 3-year-olds.
Oh man. Hey, well, there was some men next.
I was trying to think how to transition into some guys.
Some guys.
That was a bad choice of words. You figured it out?
Yeah. Yeah.
FTR and Wardlow, and as you described them, versus some guys. I know we saw at
Because they
least
were
one of
some
them.
dudes. They didn't even put their names up on a graphic. Like, they didn't get that bare minimum.
When it's a
That's
crowd
why I
of,
just said it's some guys.
when it's a crowd of nobodies stand out. I don't know.
Yeah. But I can tell you who it was. It was Jean-Claude Van Damme, Diet Butcher, and a black guy.
Yeah, I could never think of a good, and unfortunately that last one, the one that you don't have a comparison to, was the one that I know we for sure have seen on TV before.
Yeah.
So I kind of feel bad
So
not
yeah,
remembering
we've
the
seen
name.
him before, but I don't remember his name. So he's a black guy right now.
Because we probably assumed when you get
And
squashed
damn, I
like
named
that.
the other two guys, and I don't think I've ever seen them before. But they already
You
had
named them.
names. Because the one guy looked like Jean-Claude Van Damme. And then there was Diet Butcher.
Do we even need to discuss how this went? It was a big rig and a powerbomb symphony to the smallest dude on the other team for the win, which was the Jean-Claude Van Damme guy.
Yeah. Sanjay Dutt was in the back taking notes.
He has another pencil.
Yeah, he does have another pencil. Thank God. Sanjay Dutt's pencil is back. Hit of the night.
Oh, you want to know what would be torture? Is
What?
if once we get going and like the more we jokingly talk about hit of the nights, every time that we joke like say the phrase hit of the night, like a drinking game, you're like, okay, hold on, time to take another hit. Let's go.
Yeah, we'll have to do that.
Gimmicky stuff downline, or I mean that could also be a great thing for like a live reaction kind of stream. To come back from commercial and Mox comes down to the ring. Now there is one thing worth noting here. Which way did Mox come down to the ring range? Do you remember?
Oh yeah, he came down the ramp.
He took less than 30 seconds to get to the ring for once.
Mm-hmm.
The amount of time it took from his for him to walk out onto the stage, to have a microphone and start talking, was definitely less than 1 minute, which is at least 4 times faster than this first promo of the night.
Go Mox.
Improvement.
Good job.
And then even AEW knew in the end that there was too much Mox talking because he ended up cutting him off.
Yeah, because that promo, it was like, why? Like when we saw Punk sign the paper, obviously we know you're going to accept the match because you're Jon Moxley.
Yeah. He didn't really use the word, but he basically said if you wanna go out on your shield in front of your hometown, basically saying like, hey, if you wanna be retired in the main event in your hometown, okay, let's do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He made a point of emphasis, took like a 1 to 2 second break, and they started playing his music, and he was like, what the fuck, I was gonna talk again, and just chucked the mic.
Yeah.
I've never been so thankful for AEW playing Jon Moxley's music in my life.
They stopped him.
I'm no longer
They
on
got him.
ad-free music. Yeah, there wasn't a whole lot to it. That was pretty much it. Now we get to a very, very important story beat. Because Tony Schiavone's backstage. Actually, no, this isn't the very important part of it. Sort of. Gets more important later.
Yeah, it keeps getting more important.
Yeah. Tony's backstage with Ten and Evil Uno. Ten's got crutches. He's all wrapped up. Evil Uno's like, okay, I'm going to have to take his spot on Rampage. Andrade pops in with his assistant. Basically says, hey, come work for me. I think he says something about Ten being like super strong and stuff.
Yeah.
Hands Uno a shit ton of money. Fat sex. He goes hand it back to him, says, "No, we're Dark Order," kind of thing. Andrade attacks him. But that's not it. That's not the end of it. What happened at the very end?
Oh, 10 got tased by the assistant guy.
Like, I heard it going, and I almost didn't even see, like, 10 reacting. It threw me off so much. I was like, wait, what?
Didn't react much. He just went.
Mm-hmm. And he
just went limp, basically.
And because he was injured, he was already kind of, the background kind of person, because he was the one sitting down and everyone was standing, like, in front and beside him. So he was kind of, like, leaned up against, like, the locker room cubby wall area. So I don't know how much that helped him, because I'm assuming that was not faked. Maybe just on a low setting kind of deal. 10 also plays like a cokehead on BTE and Crazy, so I don't know. He's a big beefy boy that was originally from Michigan, but he no longer claims it. Asshole. Oh, hey.
The next one.
The next was the first of the Crazy 2 matches, and then we get the next big story update, and the Crazy match. Fun stuff for the next, like, few minutes here.
Dante versus Roos versus Phoenix versus Yuta. Woo!
Yeah, I literally have zero notes on this match until how the match ended, and I still have no idea how to describe how the match ended.
Yeah. So this whole match was, what the fuck just happened? What did you just do? You just flipped over, and then you flipped, and then you did another flip, and then he flipped over the guy. He threw him, and then he flipped him, and then he...
And then this guy caught that guy, and then they both did a flip together.
And then they all flipped. Everybody did flips. Okay?
And the weird thing is 3 out of the 4 really are, like Lucha's high flyers. Dante Martin can literally stand on his feet with no motion and jump over the top rope. So... But with the way they move, and then you have Wheeler Yuta with his technical ability. So he had like a lot of those kind of counters in there too. So even he's moving like crazy.
Yeah, it was really dope to see this match. The high flying, because I love high flying, just everything about it. But Dante stands out amongst other high flyers, which is dope.
Yeah. So, you know what? When we do power ranks or whatever at some point in the near future, we're going to have to do like just the top 5 based on like, I don't want to say high flyers because, sorry, Dante Martin wins if you want to talk about high flyers.
Because he be high all the time.
His vertical is going to be bigger than anybody else's.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you just can't challenge it. Yeah. So it would have to be more of a favoritism thing, but like where we kind of play all that into the fact where you can really then consider like Isaiah Cassidy and Phoenix and stuff like that. That'd be a fun one to do down the line. Because there's a lot of people that can move in AEW. A lot of people moving in this match, but... Do you have any specific notes besides flips, and more flips?
Flips.
Wheeler Yuta somehow countered something Dante Martin was doing where they managed to like roll over like 3 times while never moving where they were. And Wheeler put him in the seatbelt pin for the win, and Dante was just shocked after.
Mm-hmm.
Wheeler was like, no big deal. I'll do this.
Yeah. Well, Wheeler, you're not going to have a chance in the ladder match, so there's that.
Well, yeah, that's a plus side. Although, depending on who's winning the main event, I'm like, they can't do Yuta versus Moxley for like a 27th time in 3 months. Please don't start doing that.
Yeah, it won't be.
Now the big important story beat. with Evo Uno
Mhm.
attacked. 10 out. We got Tony with Silver Reynolds, and they're talking about Uno being taken out. Well, you know what? It's supposed to be our moment, so if we gotta do it 2 versus 3, so be it. And that's when Hangman interrupts and wanders in.
Yeah. He says, I'll be your homie.
Basically,
I got your back.
It's like, hey, I know I wasn't gonna be in this, but I'll have
But
you
I
back,
got you.
and you know I'm always here. So then
Which,
he didn't make it seem like, yes, I'm your tag team partner. I think Tony even kind of made a comment after. He's like, see you Friday. But then the graphic card came up and it was official.
so yeah, it was confirmed.
So they're
But-
winning.
Yeah. So yeah, they're winning this on Rampage, setting up that Bucks and Kenny Omega.
Finals match at all. Now that we know what's going to happen there, or at least we can predict what we're going to happen, I just realized one more match that we're getting it all out. Live in person. Sorry, I get to chant Johnny Hungy and cowboy shit and all the elites. That match I'm gonna have fun with.
If you can't tell by the way we're talking, aside from the fact that Hangman is going to be teaming with John Silver and Alex Reynolds, the Green Power Rangers lost
Oh
to Kenny
yeah.
Omega and the Bucks in the main event.
Spoiler.
But spoiler alert! Spoiler alert! Yeah,
The result
for
of the next match. Yeah.
Because that
Yep.
whole intro.
Yep. I'm
for Kenny
hold
Omega.
Hold on. Yeah. Yep. Okay. The graphic is up.
Yeah, go ahead.
I didn't know if this was going to be something you wanted to highlight as well, so that's why I was like, I'm putting it up because
Yeah, this is important. This was important.
Every single thing in Kenny Omega's really, really long entrance by Justin Roberts ended basically with the words, more than Will Ospreay. Kenny has outsold merch sales in 2 continents, or has sold more merchandise on 2 continents than Will Ospreay. He has won more world championships around the world than Will Ospreay. Kenny does more charity work than Will Ospreay. Just every single line was just ending talking shit about Ospreay. And the thing is, they entered second, so he's just sitting there listening to it, and they're showing the crowd, because Kenny has that super long entrance, just everyone's cracking up. It kept going, and it never... I don't know how they manage to be funny in even repetitive manners that they don't really miss.
Yeah.
In ways,
I thought that was just dope. He's got the whole Will Ospreay themed intro. It's like a promo.
I love that you called it dope because it makes it perfect sense to be the hit of the night then.
Yeah. We'll give that slight little hand clap there. What did you think of the match, though?
Flips, and more flips.
Flips, and more flips. There was this was a lot of flips, and more flips.
And a lot of other stuff. It was
highlighted
awesome.
by Ospreay, because that dude is just incredible.
It was a match to sit back and enjoy. I literally did not take a single note until Kenny blocked that Oscutter, and then he went to do the Snapdragon on Will Ospreay, and then Ospreay flipped out of it, and then gave him a Hurricanrana to the outside, and he went to do his dive, and Kenny dodged it, and then hit his Snapdragon on the floor.
Yeah.
My old
That was
achy
one of
body.
the first notes.
My old ass achy body did not like the idea of a Snapdragon on that floor.
Hey, the man had just done a whole tumble into a springboard to the outside. So he'll be all right. He's fine.
Later
He'll be
on,
fine. It's gonna be okay.
Osprey ends up ripping off Kenny's compression shirt, showing all the tape and everything underneath, really playing up the injuries and everything. I did say wrestling is a business where a lot of the people tan a lot for show, and you could tell that he didn't fully do everything that a lot of wrestlers do when they're back yet, because he was pale.
Yeah.
If this was the 80s, he would have been never booked again until he got tan.
Yeah. But yeah, he looks kind of beat up. Of course, the commentary is making it sound way worse than it looks.
Now, keep in mind,
they made it sound like he bashed the Stampede.
Yeah. Now, let's be honest. I will say, compared to his match last week, where you could see like a lot of rustiness and that kind of stuff, where it was the story, outside of when he started getting beat up later in the match, he, big improvement in terms of what he was doing in ring, though.
Yeah, like there was only a couple botches in this match. Like his, what was that knee strike thing?
Oh, the V trigger at the end.
Yeah, that was super ugly.
The one they totally hit the back as the guy turned and the commentary had a cover for it.
Yeah, that was rough. But other than that, he did look way better than last week.
They did all start to steal each other's shit. Like, Ospreay went to steal the V trigger and Kenny cut him off. Then later he stole something, like was stealing something from Ospreay, and Ospreay cut him off. Bucks went for a Meltzer driver, but he got reversed because Ospreay got Nick with a cutter coming into the ring, and then they hit a Meltzer driver, indie take, or whatever you want to refer to it, off with a shooting star press from the corner, but Matt Jackson kicked out, and then shit got kind of crazy and he went towards the finish.
Oh yeah, that core screw flippy Modoodle pile driver combo thingy.
Yeah, we did.
I think that's what I actually have it listed as in my notes. Yep, corkscrew flippy Modoodle pile driver combo thingy.
Shortly after that is where you got to see Kenny eventually hit the V trigger on Fletcher, which was ugly looking, kind of because of the angle that was shot from. Because usually they get behind it and you're not right in there like we were, and then hit the one winged angel on Fletcher for the win. Ospreay just looked pissed off on the ramp. Now it is worth noting that Ospreay and Kenny went at each other hard to open the match. When they get to fight one-on-one, it's going to be fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be amazing. Because just every single time those two got in the ring together, it just... And Kenny still not even being 100% is just like, okay.
It's a match where it really felt
classic waiting to happen.
It very much felt like how I talked about with Jungle Boy and Christian. Like, they can't go into that match and let it feel like a wrestling match. When those two got in the ring, it might have been a wrestling match, but you could tell there was a different... They really made it seem like there was animosity between them two with the way in which they were fighting, which is... We know it's a performance. We know it is. But when you can make it look like, hey, some of this might be, he might actually not like this other guy, but they're still being professional. It's always better.
Yeah. Break them walls down.